Your ideas are stupid and I like that. I make no secret of it, okay? Every now and again, I go onto Twitter and I specifically request your stupid ideas. You send me those stupid ideas in their thousands. I then try my best to gather them up, which may I just say, is no easy task. Some of them are excessively stupid. And then I build those stupid ideas and then compile them into a video, which you are watching right now. This is episode, I don't know, 68 or something, so let's get started. Danido9 has asked me to build clouds made out of flying machines because Minecraft clouds are ugly. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Danido. I personally think that Minecraft clouds are actually quite cool looking. I personally wouldn't change them at all, but, and it is a very big but, this redstone project sounded like a lot of fun, so I've constructed it and it's wonderful. I mean, just look at this little guy. It's perfect. It's absolutely spot on. So here is our little cloud crossing the horizon at quite high speeds, actually. The wind speeds must have really picked up. And I think we can all agree that this is rather lovely. Can you imagine an entire sky of just these little things? I have to say, the only slight negative with this design is that it only really works from one side. As soon as you start looking around it, you start seeing how exactly it works. But from this front edge, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, does it? Milo, who is apparently the world's most hated gremlin, has asked me to build a concrete maker, but the powder bounces around before it gets made into concrete. Now that definitely sounds interesting. Now, anyone who's watched this channel before will know I personally love bouncing things around with slime blocks. I would consider it a personal hobby of mine, and this is a bit of a special machine for this reason. Are you ready? Check that thing out. I don't know why I've never thought to do that before. Just bouncing things back and forth at high speed. How cool is that? Now, all of the other slime block mechanics are also quite sweet. Like, we've got a double piston extender up at the top there. We've got some interesting things going on. And then there is the actual concrete storage facility. But I can't stop watching this, to be honest. Everything else is kind of overshadowed by that system in the middle. I wonder what happens if I put loads of them in at once. Ah, yes, things start to break quite quickly. Yeah, no, I probably should have expected that. Oh gosh, I've had enough of this guy on the Hermitcraft server. Now he's bleeding into my redstone videos. Iskall85 has asked me to make a diorite destruction device of doom. That's very typical Iskall, isn't it? In fact, if I think I was to describe Iskall in one tweet, that would be it. I think that sums up Iskall about as perfectly as you can sum up Iskall. Anyway, I've created the contraption that he's requested. Hopefully he's going to like it. All I have to do is hit this button right... Oh, I got it configured slightly wrong. That was meant to summon a bunch of TNT, charge creepers, everything like that to blow up this one piece of diorite. I mean, it seemed a little bit overkill to me, but something seems to have gone horribly wrong. Lumpus has asked me to build a calculator. It took me a very long time, but I think I managed to pull it off. So first off, let's put it into the plus operation, and we're going to do 2. Yeah, that's the number 2. Plus the number... You know what, let's do 2 plus 2. Okay, that seems like a good way to start. And straight away, it's given us an answer. Okay. What about the number 1 plus 8? Yeah, I think I've got higher hopes for it now. That's just plain rude. Okay, let's change the function from adding to subtracting. Maybe that will do something. 5 minus 4. Come on, this is an easy one. Everyone can do this. I mean, yeah, I do, but I built you for this. You know what? Multiplication, okay? Forget subtracting, we're going to do multiplication, and we're going to do 9 times by 6. Bit of a tricky one, okay, but... It's pi, but it's spelt like pi and not like... That's not even mathematical. Ah, that explains things. I've just reread Lumpus's request, and they've asked me to build a calculator that only gives the wrong answers. That's typical. So let's move swiftly on from that one, although this redstone does still look quite nice. Bado has asked me to build a device that counts chickens. I mean, there isn't really much to say on this one other than, yeah, I've built it. This is the fully functioning system. So up at the top here, we have a bunch of chickens. They're laying eggs in these hoppers. Those hoppers are running into a dispenser, which is connected up to this redstone system, meaning that as soon as the egg ends up in the dispenser, it will be fired out. And if we get a little chick, it will hatch, go through the tripwire, and it will be counted in this chest. I couldn't have timed that better, could I? I mean, that was almost as if Minecraft heard me and demonstrated exactly what I was talking about as it happened, and again! And again! I mean, I couldn't plan this. Basler has asked me to build a super smelter that smelts slower than one furnace. Now, this was my original design, okay? And the entire super smelter was controlled by this chicken. You see, this chicken right here is controlling which of the furnaces inside the super smelter gets fuel, and the fuel that we're using is saplings. But you know what, I think I can go one better than this. So let's just get rid of all of this area. It actually makes the design considerably simpler. This right here is my manual labor powered furnace smelter array. So the top part actually works quite well. If we fill this in with items, we should see that it gradually makes its way across and kind of evenly distributes all of the items between all of the furnaces. The only slight issue is that for these furnaces to actually maintain their fuel level, I have to constantly press a button. Is this the most annoying system in the world? Can you imagine trying to keep this thing fueled? Right, so I've put... Oh, we're almost out of saplings in that one. Alright. I'm getting angry, okay? I'm feeling myself bubbling up even more, just getting more and more aggressive as this happens, because look, I've run out of fuel in that one. I'm almost out of fuel in that one. I've only done 3 of the furnaces so far. I've probably smelted about 4 items. Before I punch a hole in the wall, let's move on to the next one. Mary has requested that I build a ridiculously small piston door because I built far too many big piston doors. Well, Mary, I've got a treat for you because I think this might just be the smallest piston door that has ever been created in Minecraft. Here it is. It's looking rather nice. Now I know what you're thinking. A 1x1 piston door isn't particularly exciting, but no, this is not a 1x1 piston door. This is instead a 1/4 by 1/4 piston door. It's a quarter of a block. I actually really like the way this works. It's quite a nice opening and closing system. So you can see that this block actually stays in the same position. The thing that is actually moving is a stair next to it. So the stair is being disconnected and then reconnected, creating that 1/4 opening. And I have to say, as far as small piston doors go, this is probably my favourite. Ben is MC Feet has asked me to make a useless machine that explodes if you use it too much. Now I feel like it's been ages since I've built any form of useless machine on this YouTube channel, and I really feel like we've been missing out on the useless machine content because I personally think useless machines are some of the coolest redstone contraptions to build. I mean, there's just something about them that is hilarious, and also they're a little bit of a challenge when it comes to redstone engineering and things, because you know, you've got double piston extenders and stuff like that. I genuinely actually forgot about the exploding part, and I was kind of looking forward to geeking out over some of the redstone and running you through the double piston extenders and the way that I managed to make that system work. And then it blew up on me. A guy with a fairly rude name, so I'm just going to call him Kevin, has asked me to build a YouTube profile picture maker. Now, as some of you may or may not know, I recently had a bit of an issue with YouTube in that my profile picture just disappeared for like a month. They tried their best to work out what was wrong. It turns out there were some pretty serious issues at the back end of YouTube that seemed to only affect my profile, so they had to make some pretty serious changes, but eventually I got it back. But to reminisce of the old times of this, I thought I would make this swap around system, so at the press of a button I can get my old, or kind of semi-old, channel branding back. It was a strange time, I have to say. Johnny Joe has asked me to build an unexpected machine. Maybe you think that it will open a door, but it opens other in the most unrecognizable place. Yeah, I think I can do that. I actually thought it would be more fun to just go down the slightly more frustrating route in that we have 2 piston doors right here, and you try and walk through this one, and it opens up the door behind you, and then you try and go through that, but then, I mean, if there is a hell, this might actually be what it feels like a little bit. I wonder if I can make it in. Ah, that's even worse. I didn't even design that to be the case, but it is. It's painful how close you can get to getting inside. So we have it. That is all of your silly ideas compounded into one video. A lot of them were excessively stupid this time, and I much appreciate that. I look forward to doing more of these videos. I've gotten fully back into the swing of things on making them. It had been a while since I made the previous episode, and then I remembered why I like making these episodes so much. They're a blast. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya. That wraps up the episode. That wraps it up. I don't really have much to say. I recently did a new film. It's like literally barely a minute long. It's just over a minute long. If you're interested in it, it's about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's kind of in the style of like an aggressive commercial. I'd suggest checking it out. A link will be on the end screen right now.